last video I was just talking about that SA2 that completely lost tracking on us due to terrain. Again, it's the most effective way to break a lock, and there you can see he popped up again. Again, we're still underneath 5,000, so once we get above that altitude, let's see if he can start tracking us again. So yeah, terrain is absolutely the best way to defeat any type of SAM, because you're defeating the radar because it can't look at you. And let's go ahead and just turn back into that SA2. Might as well engage him. He's got a much larger engagement zone than this SA3, and I think the SA2s pretty much cover insane amount of airspace. So right now, if you look at the whiz bracket, the weapon engagement zone bracket, right now I'm getting a flashing Q, which means that we're well within range of the harm. But you don't have to launch. Just because you're in range doesn't mean you have to launch. And like I said, if you're halfway, you'll get a much better probability of a kill. Alright, so we'll go ahead and Magnum. Alright, as soon as you launch, go defensive. Beam. Go ahead and beam. You can use terrain masking. You know, throw the jammer on. Throw them on that 3-9 line.
Altitude.
Right? So, you know, get down, whatever you got to do. And I'll go ahead and shift 7, see if we can track this missile here. So shift 7 is the missile view, so that's another way to confirm that you actually killed it. It's a little bit of a cheat, but like I said, he'll disappear off your HAD, and he'll disappear off of your RWR if he's tracking you. So right now it seems like he might have turned the radar off. Possibly. You know, he's not scanning in my direction, or he doesn't know where I am. Make sure you trim it out. And you can see, I mean, with the last SA3 engagement, the harm is able to engage. From my experience, most radar sites outside of the SAM lethal engagement range. Alright, so we'll follow this missile down, and hopefully I can show you exactly what the missile is tracking here. So, yeah, right on that road, there's the big SA2 radar. Bam. That's a confirmed kill. Alright, so we can't visually see that because we're too far away, but see how he's disappeared off the head? You know, we killed him. And he's not on, you know, he was never tracking us on the RWR, so we just took out SA2 with a huge chunk of airspace to allow, you know, a deep strike package or any other recon package to go through that corridor and be able to make progress. So that's the whole purpose of SEAD. So I'm just going to recap again. Beaming, putting them on the 3-9 line. It makes it hard to track, doesn't completely break their lock, but it makes it much more difficult than if you're heading straight head-on or away from them. The jammer, from my understanding, works in front of the aircraft and behind the aircraft most effectively. Okay, so the purpose of that is if you're performing a SEAD mission and you start being tracked, throw the jammer on. You're throwing a bunch of radar energy at that SA2. And then if you're running away from a SAM, directly away from it, then that jammer is putting maximum energy behind you so that it can mask your exfil, if that makes sense. And then the third method is terrain masking. So that's just, you know, split SC,
chaff, flare,
throw out some chaff and flare out.
Chaff, flare, out, altitude, altitude.
And just getting down below 5,000. And then ideally you want to get down in the weeds, down where the mountains are. So if there's a SAM site out there, you want to get that mountain between you and the SAM site, and he won't be able to see you. You know, that's why when they do deep strike missions, that's why you do low level all the way to the target area, pop up, and then deliver bombs on target, because that terrain is going to mask you from the radar emitters. You've seen that in movies. You know how that works. I hope that helps. That's just a quick tutorial in how to defeat some SAMs. And then one more note on just breaking into the SAM. It takes practice to do that. But you know, you can watch the previous video, part 1 of this video, and you can see, you know, that 2-3 seconds before that missile is going to hit you, you brake hard into the missile, deploy chaff and flare, get down, you know, start diving down, dive into the missile, and it won't be able to, because that missile's going so fast, it has a much larger turn arc than you do, and it'll typically fly directly over you because it won't be able to make that turn. It's still trying to track you, it just doesn't have the capability. Now, you know, if you turn away from the missile, if you do a hard brake, it can still work the same way. It'll, you know, typically go over you. But if you're just, you know, kind of not maneuvering hard and you're just making a shallow turn, watching that missile, you know, he's just going to track you really easily. And the way you can tell is that there's no apparent movement between you and the missile. He just stays in one spot on your windshield, and you know that he's like pulling lead on you. You know, he's tracking you effectively. That's the same thing with collisions and real life flying. If you see an aircraft and there's no relative movement, you learn that in flight training. It means that he's heading directly towards you. Now, if you see him moving across, that means that he's probably going to miss you. Alright, hope that helps, guys. And yeah, defeating SAMs is just a ton of fun. We've been having a great time. I can't believe how awesome BMS is. So join me on part 3 if you'd like. And I did some recording for ACMI. Hopefully we can see some of those missiles in action. Alright, see you guys next time. Burn 'em out.